Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's Ian with Good Form Sports Cards, back with another video. Today it is a mail day, and it will probably be a little quicker than some of the mail days that have preceded these. It's been just a little slower for auction pickups. It's not that I've slowed down, it's just the deals kind of just haven't been there, at least where I'm looking. And that's okay. Sometimes you just got to ride the wave with the ups and downs. So we'll just jump right into it here. But it is the 2016 Topps Simone Biles. This is in an SGC 9.5 here. Picked it up for, I think, $11.50, something like that, I believe. Somewhere around there. There was I had on my watch list, the seller gave me a direct offer. And I think, you know, I stand correct. I'll put the price on the screen here, but I believe it was $19 or $20 all in, basically, to have it shipped. Raw copies of this are somewhere in the 10 to 15 range, depending on the quality of it, but my intent here was to really check it out in the case. SGC, in my opinion, has been a little more lenient on corners, so I'm going to check these corners out front and back and see if they look really, really sharp. If they do, I'll probably resubmit this to PSA in hopes of getting a 10. If not, let's hypothetically someone had like-minded to me and saw that it had a little bit of whiteness or something and sent it to SGC in hopes of getting a 9.5. This might be the peak for this card, and I might have it in about as good as it's going to get. If that's the case, I believe I can relist it and probably just get my money back or get a few dollars. Small profit. It's very low risk. Simone Biles is all-time great. Would love to have this in my collection, but I already have one. And actually an HGA holder. It has a nice red, white, and blue logo. It looks super cool. So Simone Biles, one of the all-time greats. Never gonna lose money on somebody like that. I always worry about some of the singles you buy that aren't from consigners, just because people lose sketchy stuff sometimes, and if that's the case here, I don't want, you know, obviously I missed my window to return it, but we will see. This is an Adam Vinatieri Pacific Philadelphia rookie. Not perfect center, but it looks good enough to be within 10 standards. Looks like it came with a dog hair there. With these, it really comes down to surface. The white edges, pretty straightforward. It's just going to come down and make sure there's no like major scratches or dents. I mean, initially it looks pretty good. Don't see anything that would hold it back. So, I mean, the nice thing about this card is you pick it up at a good raw price. It's rare enough and low pop enough, but it's also the all-time NFL leading scorer. So he does have some pretty basically baked in value. If you buy this in decent raw condition and get even an 8, you're going to make money. So this card would just, if I happen to pull a 9 or even a 10, would be pretty nice little pickup there. So these are going to be some of the auction pickups from COMC. One of these seemed very light, so we'll just jump into that. That's really probably the bottleneck for me in the process, is reviewing cards. It's quite a bit of work, especially when you're buying them in volume, where I'm doing mail days that have 60, 70 cards, and you've got to go through all of them. It's quite a task if you're putting the time in and doing a good job. So got a little sneak peek there while I was taking the label off of this one. It's a cool card, but also for those that have been loyal followers to the mail days, you know that I struggle with grading Flair cards, and I picked up this Flair Showcase Kobe pretty reasonably. I put in auction snipes on as many clean copies as I find, and I just don't win a lot of them. So I'm a little concerned that either I missed something on this or maybe I got lucky, but I'm hoping that Kobe looks gradable. Those I'm usually buying to where it's like break even at an 8, making money at a 9 or 10. So if that card looks 8-ish, I'll send it in. I mean, even some Kobe's even in 7s still sell pretty well. He's tough to get in high grade, especially now. A lot of those cards are just, they've been through so many hands that it's just really hard to get gems. And even the pack pulled cards at this point there's a lot of breaking going on, so it's really tough to get gem Kobe's in the wild, but they're around. We got a Mikal Bridges rookie. This is the green prism. This one looked really clean online. It was really cheap. It was just a couple dollars. I like Bridges a lot, especially as a Knicks fan. So now that he's there, he was just a natural fit. I liked him anyways when he was in Phoenix. So got a Dirk Nowitzki. This is the Crusade parallel here, numbered 99. This looked pretty clean as well, pretty centered. There's a little bit you can do with centering. A little trick I've shared in previous videos, but I probably could add a little more detail to it, is what I like about COMC specifically is they scan their cards and so they lay flat on a table, whereas there's other sellers might put them in the stands and their card sits something like this, maybe at an angle or a slight angle or whatever, so they can get the shine on the refractors and stuff, which is a good look. It's a good to sell them. But for someone that's looking to go raw to grade, if I can get a picture that's already flat and scanned, I can just save that picture in my desktop and then put it into one of those online centering tools, and I'll know right away if it's centered. And if you know that you're basically 1/4 of the way there to a gem, you can kind of eyeball the edges, and it really just comes down to getting that card in hand and making sure the surface and corners meet up. But I mean, you can get basically, if you can guarantee the centering's within gem, and then you can see the edges and corners probably are, it really just leaves surface up to question, which helps eliminate quite a bit of bad cards and bad buys. It's still, you just have to have it in hand to look. So anyway, this is Anderson Silva. This was I believe it was a 2016 Topps, I think, but it was a gold parallel. Anderson Silva is probably my all-time favorite fighter, so just saw this kind of sitting out in the auctions. I may slab it up at some point, but that one was really just for me. I love Silva, and you don't see a lot of this stuff out there. They're starting to in the newer stuff where like they start getting a lot of the veterans and stuff, but like the stuff from like his actual fighting years, there's not a lot out there for him. So got a Barry Zito. This is an orange refractor from Bowman Chrome. The Bowman refractors are always a little bit less than the Topps refractors, and that's okay. I think I picked this up for just a few dollars. It's numbered to 25. Numbered to 25, like most of the orange refractors are. Look really clean and centered. And that one might be one, if it looks like it's a gem, I'll hold on to it for a little bit and wait for a deal of some sorts to come through. Barry Zito's got a little bit of following. He was a good pitcher. Had that that really slow curveball that just took forever. I remember my buddies and I, when we would do home run derby, we would call the Barry Zito, and you just throw this like, it was like a St. John Smith serve, you know, where you just, this big lob. But yeah, Barry Zito, he's got a little bit of following. He was a good pitcher. He was around for a while. So if that's a refractor number to 25, if I get that in 9 or 10, there'll be somebody that'll want it. I like picking up these Muhammad Ali holograms, just iconic photo. They're very seldom gem worthy. This one was actually fairly centered, but they're always like way off. You can use the text a little bit to line it up, and then this box here, this one's actually pretty good if the surface and corners are okay, which this corner down here looks like it's got a little something going on. But if they look decent, I might just slab one of them up just for myself. I have that photo, which maybe I'll try to share it sometime. It's very large, but it's a wall photo that has this Ali pose right here, but it's got the Beatles laying down here, and it's signed by a couple of the living Beatles and Muhammad Ali. So it's a pretty cool piece of work. Here we've got a Richard Sherman. This is a playoff parallel. I believe it was the green, numbered to 10. Richard Sherman, same sort of approach I took with Barry Zito. Is a good player and has a little bit of a following, so see if this gems up or not. If not, a Richard Sherman to 10, you can definitely just put out, buy it now, and there'll be somebody that is either building the rainbow or wants to pick up the card for a good price, something like that. This is the one I'm probably most excited about out of that COMC box, is this Justin Verlander. This is the Topps Chrome Refractor. Picked this one up at what I felt was a good price compared to what the Raws were going for at the time. Verlander already like top 10 in strikeouts, and his wins and everything are right there, so he's got all the stats. He's a good pitcher, still going. So we're gonna check this one out. I'm always suspicious when you see a refractor like this that's really centered and really clean. I'm suspecting there's probably like a dimple or some egregious, well, let's just see it live here. We won't look at too many cards live, but we'll see if I can spot anything going on with this. Sorry, I'm not looking through the camera here, so this angle might not be perfect for you, but and initially it looks pretty nice. I don't really see. Wow, this is one of the rare occasions. If you guys see anything, go ahead and throw it in the comments. But this one looks really clean. I got to look at it under a different light, but I don't see any dimples or bad scratches. If that's the case, this could be a really big card. We'll have to check it out and get it in a future grading submission. But Verlander Topps Chrome Refractor, I was surprised to win it at the price I did. I'll flash that up on the screen as well. I thought it was a really good price, especially if you look at raw comps and what even the 8s and 9s were going for. I thought that card was a steal. Sticking with Verlander, we've got a Topps Chrome Purple. I believe this is numbered to 250. I'm incorrect. This one is numbered to 10, so it must be a different purple variation here, but picked this one up again also at what I felt was a good price. Get that one graded and check it out. So this one here was just an old refractor, but these old, let's see, this is Greg Graham. I don't remember who he was, but this is about as earlier refractors you're going to get in hoops. This is a 95, 96, I believe the year before that. There were refractors I've had. I think I have the John Starks in my collection, so those ones are a different color, but these are pretty tough to get centered. This one looked really good left to right. Top to bottom wasn't perfect, but I believe I did measure this out, and it was at least within 9 for sure. It looks like egregiously thick at the top, but the bottom, if you look at it, is not really that bad. So I wanted to really check this one out. This is something I definitely would not send in unless I think I'm going to get a 9. So really going to check this out. If it looks good, I'll probably remove the coating too. And that's debatable. Some people like that, some don't. But I would think when you remove the coating on these old refractors, they really shine. Like they really look nice. And this would be something I would just look to get if it's really low pop and sell it to somebody that's either a set builder or likes just acquiring those old refractors. Probably noticed there's not as much cheap like Bryce Youngs and Jaden Daniels and stuff like that in here. Those are out there, but I was only picking those things up when they were like dirt cheap. And when, I think it's because it's getting a little closer to the NFL draft, maybe the people are just getting excited and those cards are starting to some reason go for more raw again, which, okay, I mean, it is what it is, but I just don't, I wouldn't want to be somebody that's buying like a Goodwin Champions Bryce Young for $3 and it's not gradable. It's just, I don't see how you're ever going to win on that unless you're just looking to hold or collect it, which if you're doing that, great. There's a lot of them out there and there's a good market for you. So we will take a look at these pickups here. This one is a Steph Curry. This is a wishful thinking optic parallel silver, or I guess we call it hollow. Looked pretty clean, pretty centered. Top to bottom's a little off. You can see there's just a thinner gap there and a little bit thicker down here, but overall that looked really good. I got it at a good price, so figure I'll make money in all scenarios. Either I'll grade it or just relist it raw and somebody will hit the buy it now. Topps Chrome Newcomers Refractor of Tim Duncan. This one also, I think it looks really good and it looked really clean online. You can see it looks like there's probably some sort of dimple here, but I don't know if that was just, oh, maybe it was just on the holder. It looks like it wiped off, so no, it's on the card. So try to show you what this is. Or maybe it was just on the sleeve. It looked like it was like right here. I'm not getting it to pop now, which is a good thing, but you can see this card's got a nice shine to it. It's a good looking card. Must have just been a little, yeah, it's a mark on the sleeve, but if that card gems up, it's pretty good. This card in a 9's not really anything spectacular, so you definitely need like a gem worthy card. Otherwise it's just pretty much just realistic raw. Oh, cool. This one picked up pretty cheap too. I really like this year of Topps in general. I think the baseball and basketball look really good. This is a Gilbert Arenas X-Fractor. And Gilbert, he had a good run there for a while too, and he's still relevant with his podcast. He's out and doing his thing, and his card looked clean and centered. If it looks gradable, I'll send it in. If not, we won't. This was just a pickup for myself. I'm working on the Mekhi Becton Optic Rainbow, and I already do have this card, but I'm not sure it was this clean. And this one was one of those deals, like you already have an order, you can pick it up for $1, just throw it in there. And if somehow if I get that card in a 10 already somewhere else, I'm not really heartbroken that I have a raw copy to figure out. Here we got a Miguel Cabrera X-Fractor. This is the Topps Chrome as well. This one looked really clean and centered. Kind of reflecting it here, I'm a little worried about like a print line along the edge here. If you see that, it looks like it's kind of, I don't know if that's part of the design in the background or if it's got a little bit of a print line, but either way, I'm just picking these cards up at prices so low, and I've kind of explained this before, so I don't want to say it every video, but I'm looking at basically what the comps are, and then I'm bidding at like 75% of like what the low comp is. So like I'm basically creating new bad comps for myself. If I go to resell these, I mean, someone's going to look at mine obviously and think that the card's going to go for that, and then I'm just hoping that, you know, they're using an app or some other means, I guess, to come up with their pricing. But that's really my thought. Is I bid on, like, to get all of these, I probably bid on like 300 cards, and I'm going to get like 20. And that's just what I do. And that's where when I get them in hand, if they're gradable, there's good margin for sure. But if they're not, I can still relist them and recover my money fairly easily. If not, you take small losses, but where you're going to make your money is the graded. So I'm looking to make the real money on the graded cards, and then on these, for the most part, break even or make a small margin, maybe 5-10%. So we got a Nolan Arenado. This was the gold parallel of the, I think it's a silver pack gold of what they call it, but it's numbered to 50. I really like Nolan Arenado. I don't know if it's just me, but either I feel he's undervalued, or maybe just my opinion is I think he's better than other people do. I'm not sure, but he's really good. He's just good hitter, super good defensively. He's dropped a little bit with going to St. Louis, but still a very, very good defensive player, and offensively good enough where I think he's a just very good all-around player. Cup card here of Jared Walsh. I may have sent this home by mistake. I'm assuming I bid like $1 on this with the intent to pay with COMC credit and not ship it home. And instead I just paid for it on eBay, and here we go. So we got a random gold refractor, number to 50, Jared Walsh Cup card. I don't know what I'll do with that. Probably send it right back to COMC, and that one I might lose money on. That one with the shipping home and then paying the upload fee and then trying to sell it again, that one I might lose money on. That was meant to be a COMC flip, so don't do that. All right, we got a Kenneth Walker. This is a score gold rookie. This one I think is numbered, or is it not numbered? This might just be the scorecard yellow or gold. So yeah, it's not numbered. Really cheap. This one is definitely $1 pickup. That one's just, again, you're looking to see if it's an absolute gem, and that is a card you would only send in if it's going to gem. Don't send it in for anything else. Don't even send if it's close. You better be like 95% sure that's going to gem if you send it in. Andre Johnson X-Fractor. Nice looking card. This one looked really centered. I have really good luck with this year with just the refractors and the base. They just seem to grade really well. Andre was a really good player. I think I picked that card up for like $250. It was really cheap. Can't miss on something like that. This was for me. I'm excited about this one. I always got the O-line love. This is a Larry Allen auto here, rookie auto. This is pretty cool. It's obviously he's in the college uniform. I can't even remember who made it, if it was Classics or Skybox or one of those types of card brands, but I'm pumped to have this, especially with Larry passing recently. Somebody like myself that trains in heavyweight, does powerlifting. Larry Allen at one point had a 700 raw bench, which is unbelievable. I'm like trying to get to 500, but 700 is like crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. So like, Larry's my kind of people, man. I love Larry Allen, good player. Happy to have that one. That was like, I think I picked up for like 13 bucks. Here we've got a Mario Lemieux. This is a Canadian Idols Topps card. I believe this was from his playing days. This was 2003. I think that's when he came back for the little run there. But it's a nice looking card. It had a good shine. Picked it up for cheap. Here we have a Justin Herbert. This is the certified, I believe. The select certified insert is just the base. It's not silver, so this is really cheap. This was definitely like $1 pickup. I'm just going to have to check it out, see how it stacks up. It's got all dark backs, so this one's a fairly tough one to gem, but This is along the lines of the, what was it before Larry Allen here? It's along the lines of that Kenneth Walker. If it's clean, you send it in, you get a 10. It's a decent card. You don't send it in for anything else. You do not want that card on a 9. You're just going to be stuck basically giving it away at a discount. You're going to lose money for sure. Or you just leave it out in buy it now purgatory, and it almost certainly will not sell unless you get a seller that buys multiple items from you and they just throw that in since they already have cheap shipping or whatever. But there's very few scenarios where that card in a non-10 sells. So yeah. Nolan Arenado, this is I believe the Topps Chrome Refractor. This one is the purple, and it's numbered to 250. Looked really clean. Centering was good. Everything checked out, so it's just going to come down to surface and all that good stuff. But even here, where we're talking about how good he was defensively and whatnot, like just look at all the red back here, especially early in his career. There, he's a very, very, very good player. That's his career WAR. I can't really see what that is there from far away, but let's see if we can zoom in here. He's already at a 55 career WAR on this card, and this card is from 2024, so it's new. But yeah, he's a 55 career WAR already. He's probably going to be, if he keeps it up, 70, 80 WAR career. It's pretty good. Here's another card that looked really clean. Freddie Freeman Topps base. You can pick these up pretty reasonable. The centering is not perfect, but I believe I did measure it out and it was good enough. This one still, though, it looks like it's thick here and thick here. Usually, in my experience, I've noticed if it's like thick one way but center the other ways, it's a little more favored. It seems like when it's off in multiple areas, the 9's coming. So we'll check that one a little closer and see. That one might just be a raw flip. Trevor Lawrence, this one looks like a select base. This was definitely a dollar card, definitely like the Kenneth Walker and some of the other cards before. This is the only card you'd send in a gem. And even then, that one might just sit in a box where, like, if he turns it around, I'll send it in. And if not, yeah, I might just stage him in like the gradable cards, but we'll be selective about when we send him in. Here's one of my favorite, I guess you'd say, short-term investments in baseball, Rafael Devers. Really, really good hitter. This was just a insert that I picked up from 2022. And just a cheap insert, but I really like Devers. I think I mentioned it somewhere in one of my mail days. If you look at the active hitters for people is in regards to like home runs, RBIs, hits, he's in the top 50, I believe, for all three, which is, there's a lot of people, like, you know, if you have longevity, that are in those sorts of categories, but he's only 27 and he's the statistical outlier. You'd think like Soto is in there and stuff like that, but Soto is not in all three. I believe it was hits where he wasn't, and I think that's just because he walks a lot. So Devers really has a lot of offensive stats that are on his side. Defensively, most of us know that he is among the error leaders, and Bregman was actually brought in to help there, and Devers doesn't want it. He says he wants to play third. So we'll see, but offensively, he's unbelievable. So I like his career trajectory right now. I like picking his cards up, and he's not cheap, but I do feel he's undervalued a little bit because of his defense. His WAR is just not there. But anyway, let's keep it moving here. Joe Burrow, picked this up. This is the Panini Illusions rookie. This one just looked clean. We'll have to check on these. Usually with the Illusions, it's corners. The corners are the ones, especially with the paper, you got to zoom in the back, and they look fine from a distance because they're kind of pale. But under magnification, you can see all kinds of issues on those sometimes. And I've had hit and miss luck with Illusions. They're not hard to gem, but it's literally like right down the line. I gemmed a few, especially the basketball ones, and the football ones are, like I said, hit and miss. They're doable. We just gotta check them. Here we got a Tim Duncan. This was the Topps paper rookie. The centering's a little off left to right, but not bad. I remember checking this one for sure. And I picked this one up actually at a really good price, so that's one where hopefully we can gem it. Guess I don't need to say I picked up every card at a good price. I guarantee you I did, because I wasn't overpaying for any of them, so we can just skip that. We can just assume. Randy Johnson, this is the, I don't even remember what the actual, I don't remember if this was Topps Transcendence or what this was. Topps Triple Threads, Randy Johnson Tourmaline or Tourmaine, whatever the heck that is, number to 125. So thankfully, I'm glad COMC has those little labels there, because so many different parallels, I can't keep them straight, but this one has a nice shine. It's a little thicker, and I have to check out the corners and make sure that it's good. But Randy, he's also a statistical stud. Tons of Cy Youngs, tons of strikeouts. Just he might be the best lefty of all time. I know there's a lot of people that argue other pitchers, and they'd have every right to, but Randy was a very good player. Now, this one I'm excited about, especially being a Minnesotan. With the Justin Jefferson Score Rookie Gold. This one is numbered to 50, and it looked really, really good online. We'll take a peek at this one as well. I'm hoping that this is gem worthy. You're just always skeptical when cards like this are out in the wild, because you're thinking, why didn't somebody else grade it? But sometimes people just rip packs and they want to just generate money and go rip more. So sometimes it's that simple. But it's looking pretty good initially. I don't really see any nicks or scratches. There's a little dimple here, just a tiny one. I don't see if I can get it to pop in the light. It's probably not going to, but it's right in that range. But a little trick you can do for those dimples that aren't too egregious, you just leave your card sit on a windowsill, let it get a little warm, and it will pop right out. Just got to put a little bit of heat on. I wouldn't recommend like putting a flame to it or a really hot blow dry or anything like that, but this actually looks really good. That is very pleasing to me, because I was afraid if there was a card I didn't get a good deal on, it was this one. I think I felt like I overpaid at first, and I think it was like $70 or $77 or something, but it just looks so good. It's just a good looking card. Like the gold and purple are just a nice natural combo, and just Jefferson, man, that's my dude. So excited to have that. That'll definitely be getting a closer look here in a little bit, and hopefully will be on a video very soon on its way to PSA. Here we have a Kelvin Johnson refractor. I believe this was the blue that's numbered to 199. It is the blue, and this is the same year I was talking about before that typically grades really well. Really, the centering is what usually the issue with these, but this one was really good. Top to bottom and left to right. So Calvin in the color match blue, really good looking card here. Hopefully that one has good surface and that can find its way to California or New Jersey, depending on where PSA wants to grade it. And the final card of the mail day here is a Peyton Manning X-Fractor. This one was pretty decently priced too. I think it was like $6 or $7, not too bad. Well centered, top to bottom's a little off, but it was within tolerance. Not too bad. As you can see, it's a little thicker on the bottom. But other than that, very clean example. We're gonna have to check this one out and make sure that everything else checks out, and we will go from there. So those are the buys. This is the product of my bidding and buying for about the last 10 days. Not terrible. There's some good stuff in here. There's some good upside. I really like the Vinatieri, probably the Kelvin Johnson and the Justin Jefferson. Those are really good ones, that Verlander. So those are some of the, got some good pickups here. Some good potential. And along the way, I will get these hopefully in future videos just to make it completely transparent. That's why I have so many, just really so many mail days in general. A lot of the people that primarily share grading reveals, and that's what they do, those people are doing so much work in the background that you just don't see. And really what I'm trying to do is show you the entire process. So that's why there's so many mail days compared to everything else that I do, is because you do have to constantly be buying, reviewing cards, preparing submissions, and there's a lot of work that goes on in the background. So, you know, as I go through this stack of cards here, there's probably going to be, you know, good estimate would be half of them are going to be good enough to go into grading, and then you put those in a submission and send it, you wait your 45 to 60 days, and it's a process. You've got a lot of these cards tied up, and it's just constantly a revolving door of buying and then reviewing cards for grading, prepping them, and then you're either relisting the raw copies for sale, you're sending them into COMC. Then as you're doing this, you have grading submissions coming back that you also have to sell. So it is a lot of work. So want everybody to kind of be aware, if you're wondering like, wow, every other video is a mail day, and it kind of almost has to be. To be honest with you, that's just it's the only way I would have stuff coming through and whatnot. So, but I really appreciate you guys tuning in and going through the process with me. I hope it's valuable at times. I know a lot of times it gets kind of long-winded talking about certain cards, but I do like you to have all the information and understand what my process is. I don't want to just assume things and just give little bits of information, assuming that you understand what I'm talking about or what my intent was and that sort of thing. So I do like to get a little detailed at times, but that's good intent behind it. Hopefully it's helpful or helping anybody, whether you're new to the hobby or experienced, and it's just giving you some additional lens to look through, so to speak, or different ideas of what might work or not work for you. That's really the whole reason that I'm sharing this. This is all stuff I do anyways. I'm just making it visible to everybody else. Believe it or not, all these packages I would always open on camera anyways before I had a channel, and I just didn't narrate it. So I would record the mail day and I would be doing that sort of thing, and I would make sure, and that was really just to cover myself in case anybody ever just said they sent me a Tom Brady card, for instance, and they just threw a Jimmy Garoppolo in there, and then I always say, no, you sent me the wrong card, and it's he said, she said. So I want to always have that situation where I had a video from beginning to end with no cuts and that sort of thing to help me in those scenarios. I've only needed it one time, and it wasn't even on a big card. It was like a $180 card, but it did help me get my money back. So I guess it's worth doing it. That if there's one thing I could recommend to everybody, whether you have a channel or not, definitely record yourself opening your mail. There are a lot of people out there that do bad things, unfortunately, and they will take advantage of anybody that is not dotting their I's and crossing their T's. So that is a little bit of advice I would give you. Just get a cheap stand, or, I mean, you don't even need it because it doesn't need to be a quality video. You just need to make sure it's on video and there's no deniability. You need to keep the stuff you're doing in the screen and not take it off screen for a second and put it back and that sort of thing. You know, make it to where it's unquestionable that you're on the up and up and those sort of things. But anyway, that's the mail day. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for all the support. It's fun for me to see people hopping in there and sharing their thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I like to engage with everybody. So if there's anything you liked or didn't like or just want to chat with me at all, please hop in there and say hi. I'd really appreciate that. Helps keep things going and getting the video in front of other people that may enjoy it as well. So that's all I got for today. So until next time, we'll see you.